Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. And as always, thank you for all your support, including sharing, chatting, liking, and subscribing. Now roll that famous logo animation!
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. In a world of fun and fantasy, and ever-changing views, and computer terminology, Commodore is news. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
Good evening, and welcome back to Computerized Start Live! I am your host, Justin D. Morgan, and apparently I'm keeping up with the Commodore because I managed to remember not only where I put the bread bin, but where I put the video cable for it, and even, hopefully, have correctly identified the correct box that I will need for part of tonight's adventure. The only thing that I do not remember where I put is my ginormous basement air conditioner, because apparently I don't own one yet. Someday. But the walls need insulated first. I also hopefully will not remember. Strike that, reverse it. Hopefully I will not forget that the chat exists, and hopefully the chat will not do me wrong tonight. I do apologize for everyone that was in the chat sometime starting around 11 p.m. because my view of the chat froze, and I didn't realize that I wasn't keeping up with the chat until I was already well into the outro when I saw that, oh, people were giving me helpful suggestions and I completely missed them. So I apologize about that, although I don't know why I'm apologizing for YouTube, because it was probably YouTube. But anyways, I'm sorry I didn't notice sooner that it wasn't the 11 o'clock lull, it was YouTube. All right, and with that apology out of the way, let's see who we have in the chat. We have Jack68K. Hi, Jack. Asks, are you keeping up with the Commodore? Of course. We have Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack with the proper response, because the Commodore is keeping up with you. We have Francois. Disco is in Disco Ball. Why would you fix that? Well, I mean, maybe if disco mode wasn't causing other problems, sure. Maybe I could keep disco mode going. But it is causing other problems as well. Thomas Armstrong asking, a PET or VIC-20? Actually, it is a Commodore 64 tonight. I could not find anywhere in town that had the proper fuse for the VIC-20, so we probably won't be able to look at it tonight. We have Foxhound 477. Hi, Foxhound. All right, we have Jeremy providing a video for some entertainment while I was getting ready to stream. We have Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. Are you keeping up with the Macintosh? Because the Macintosh is keeping up with you. Hi, Dave. And we have K-Mac Vintage. Hi, Will. Yes, people were there early. Wow. Let's see here. We have Kibbs with Retro. Hi, Kibbs. We have, let's see here. Will says the tech step building is going well. Even designed a 3D print case to go with them. Waiting on the last package to arrive from the UK. It's in customs right now. All right, cool. I will probably eventually get a tech step as soon as I get down to that in my list. We have Frank S. Hi, Frank. We have, yes, had lots of people that were correctly guessing I was going to play the Commodore song. Ah, Jack's waiting on a DigiKey order so I can fix my power computing clone. Cool. We have 2K compliant. Hi, 2K. Yes. And we have... Well, hold on. Let's see here. And we have Gut Bomb catching up to live at 2 speed. Hi, Gut Bomb. All right. Well, we have the eBay Regrets goal. Link is there. I do have a few eBay Regrets stacked on the monitor box that I kind of thought, though, I'd like to get to the Commodore, since Thursdays are my shorter stream. But we may take a break at some point and do Wheel of Regrets Part 2, because we do have Wheel of Regrets Part 1 right here. So, yes, let's see here. Oh, and then I've got a Wheel of Regrets item upstairs that, well, I didn't feel like carrying it downstairs. It's wrapped in saran wrap, which I guess is good and bad. It's good because that protected the original box that it got shipped in, but it's bad because maybe I'd preferred the original box got shipped in another box. And the only reason I ordered the one that was in the box was because I thought it might be better protected in shipping, and I didn't hear any, like, loose plastic inside the box. So we have Frank S. Is it a Trident video card? Can I not go one Trident video card order without anybody guessing that I bought a Trident card? All right, maybe we'll just do one Wheel of Regrets, and I'll go walk over and grab the other 2 boxes, because there is a chance that this isn't the box I'm looking for, but if this isn't what I think it is, then I have a severe problem. Because I know this can't be the item that got shipped in the original box wrapped in saran wrap. This is too small to be a Trident card, and this is too small to be the other item. So, anyways, what is in the box? Everyone's probably wondering. Jeremy says, shrink wrap is bad for electronic goodies. Too much static electricity. Yeah. Jack 68K. It could be a broken in half Trident card. That would definitely get a high regret score. The eBay seller that thinks, oh, well, they didn't actually need that intact. I said it was for parts or repair. 2 is parts. Yeah, I know that will come at some point where some seller will do that because they weren't thinking. Unless UPS beats them to thinking of it and breaks it in half for them. Yeah. 2K compliant in parts for repair. Jack 68K untested. Yeah. I mean, I can't say that I haven't seen broken items listed on eBay for parts or repair where you look at it and you're like, no one is going to be able to repair that. It is too physically broken. Although I guess with reloaded boards, maybe that's not the hard no it used to be. But still, it'd be a lot of work. Cut Bomb's asking, oh, hey, Justin, have you tried out the C64 thing you got from me? No, I haven't yet, but I am going to have to try it really soon, like when I get the VIC-20 running. Maybe. That'd be or maybe if I get this C64 running, we'll try it tonight. Because I don't have a fuse for the VIC-20. Oh, yeah, slight update on the VIC-20. Because we blew the fuse testing it. Turns out that according to the users, both the user's manual and Zimmers.net, the VIC-20 is supposed to have a 3 amp slow blow fuse. And for anyone that's happened to notice the fuse that was in the VIC-20, you probably would have noticed that it was not a slow blow fuse that was in it. It was a fast acting fuse. So it is quite possible the only reason the fuse blew is because it had the wrong type of fuse in it. Oh, it'll require some extra effort with the VIC. Jack says you could just bodge wire it back together, big bad biologist style. Jeremy's asking, would I like a device that you could use on both the VIC-20 and C64? It's a diagnostic tool. Yes, I would. Justin, I'm waiting to get my eBay regret. Dave, did you buy the SE30 that was a train wreck? Because I was out, like, as soon as it got much above $50, I stopped watching the thing. Oh, okay, Dave says no. I've got my limits for regrets, and that one was, like, I think I pretty much had a hard $100 limit on it, because some people think there might have been an expansion card in that SE30. I was in team, that is just a gaping hole. There is nothing in there. I think the thing that people saw standing vertically was probably the part of the floppy drive. I don't think there was an expansion card in it. I suspect, given how bad it looked, the entire chassis was rusted. I was also accounting for the fact that I would definitely have to get a tetanus booster shot before even touching the shipping box, as how bad that thing was. Yeah, I was out once the total cost came to $100. I stopped watching it because that thing went for like $230 some plus shipping for a what looked like a totally rusted internally SE30. Which, if that's how much those things cost, well, I'm out. Hi, David Starbuck. Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, Gutbomb's telling me that the Pi 1541 uses the C64 cartridge slot for power, but I can power it externally through the Pi Zero USB to use it on VIC. Okay, good to know. The eBay, Jack68K says the eBay Apple III is up to $530. Well, that Frank S says you would need a tetanus shot for even looking at the photos of that thing. Yeah, almost. Almost. Oh, hi, Jesse. A brief pop in during your walk. All right, cool. Oh, let's get to what's in this box. So, I have, well, I bought the bundle. I don't know why I bought the bundle, but I bought the bundle because it was like, oh, cool, another spare cartridge board, so yeah, it was a bundle. So I got another Deadtest diagnostic cart bundle. You're probably looking at the one I already have and like, yeah, okay, now I've got a duplicate. And now I have diagnostic harnesses. So there we go. I got I think that's the serial port one, I believe. And a random cable that I'll probably figure out where it goes as I pull things out. And there we go. We got the keyboard dongle and the cassette port dongle and the user port. So the user port dongle and two control port dongles. All right, so a diagnostic harness set. Jeremy says the device I mentioned turns your C64 or VIC-20 into a capacitance tester. I know you have the Chinese one, but it doesn't have a video out, nor does it have the coolness factor. All right, you sold me, Jeremy. You sold me on it. All right, I still don't know what the thing is for. I guess I'm going to have to look at the auction photos. I suspect... Oh! Oh, I bet I know what it's for. I bet it's to keep them together. Okay, there we go. This has been um, Wheel of Regret stumping the Engineer Edition. Tune in next time when I will probably stare at something else and wonder what it's designed for. But yeah, I think that was just simply so you could keep them together. Ah, hi Eric, welcome. All right, so now that I have a set of diagnostic harnesses for the C64, why would I have even bothered to get such a thing? Well, if you'll remember, my friend mentioned that the user port was broken on this, so that's why I broke down and bought the diagnostic harnesses so that when I do get the suspected PLA issue fixed, although I've been told, according to what I read, yes, Deadtest Diagnostic ROM, yes. Well, I now have 2 assembled ones, and I even have a board that I can build one. I guess you can never have too many Deadtest Diagnostic ROM carts. Okay, I'll stay tuned for it, Jeremy. So yes, I guess now I can lose one and probably manage to lose the other. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized there's a hole in the middle of the board. I bet I can put it on the thing of retaining, and then I will either lose everything or keep it all together. All right. Anyways, I broke down about the diagnostic harness so that I could hopefully, once I got the C64 to the point where it doesn't fail the color RAM test, that hopefully I can figure out what else is bad. So, according to my further reading of the pictorial C64, David Starbucks says, the device of retention. Yes, the device of retention. Or as some people might say, the retaining device of retention. Anyways, according to the pictorial... Oh, wait a minute. There was one other thing I just realized. Okay. Before we get to the C64, all right, let's rewind a little bit. All right. Either YouTube knows me well or something, but all right. I was logged into YouTube so I could bring up the control center just in case. I could hopefully not lose track of the chat. If it seems like it freezes, I can alt-tab over and check it real quick. Anyways, at the top of my subscription feed, 6-8 Woodworks video. I made custom tridents and more for my son's team. Well played, YouTube. Well played. Yes, let's go ahead and where's the watch later? Right, there we go. We will save that to the watch later playlist. There we go. All right. Yes, I had to. So if you see me build those, then Jeremy says, "Oh, good grief!" Yeah. Yes. All right. I guess just for thoroughness. All right. For thoroughness, let's see here. I better share copy. All right. Just if there was anyone that's like, oh man, What's the link for that video? There you go. That's the link for the woodworking video. Anyways, I'll probably have to check that out. And if you see a wooden trident at some point, well, you'll know what gave me the idea to build it. Okay, back to the C64. So we have the C64 Pictorial Troubleshooting Guide. And I think by looking at that, I realized the problem could be down to one of three components. Hi, we have Retro Techer Die. Welcome. All right. So the problem could be the PLA, which I am going to draw a blue mark on so that I don't hopefully get it mixed up with the SID, because depending on what version of the board you are looking at, the SID is in a different spot. I would not want to accidentally remove the SID the way I will probably remove the PLA. So it could be the PLA. It could be the color RAM, although I did try another RAM chip because someone had already installed a socket. Or it could be the 4066, which actually, I see there is two of them. Now, I don't know if I have any 4066s. I might. I might have them. Jack says, every time Justin says PLA, I think polylactic acid. I'm clearly not enough of a Commodore person. Yes, I do promise you it is the programmable logic array that I am talking about. Now, of course, the thing is, it would be so much easier to remove these chips. But I am almost convinced the problem is actually the PLA. So much so that I almost would actually remove the PLA by clipping the legs. The thing is, Claris is not... I don't have the replacement handles yet. I wasn't expecting them to come by today. So if I do remove chips, it's going to be by solder wick and other means. Yes, it seems like, yes, Jack. I think Commodores have the one that's called the PLA. Yeah, I'm trying to think here. It would be so much easier to remove the 4066s because there's fewer pins. All right, let me grab my box of chips. Let's see if I have any 4066s. I might. Because if I do, then we'll try it. All right. This is the part where I pull out my box of chips that is not organized in any meaningful way other than these are all ICs. Now let's see if I have any 4066s. Although the thing is, I believe if I had any 4066s, they're probably actually not going to be on this because I think these are all 74 series logic chips. I think actually if I had any 4066s, they are going to be loose in the bottom of this box. Hi, Jim's Retro Stuff. Welcome. You've caught me going through my box of chips to see if I have any 4066s. Oh, there's some IC sockets. Yeah, I think these are all RAM chips. Yep, those are all RAMs for the most part. That's a RAM DAC. Oh, those are 41. Oh, those are 4164s. That's handy to know. Oh. All right. Those are keyboard encoders. Oh, there's my NE558 timers. All right. At some point, I will order more foam so I can put more of these chips on foam. Until then, okay, I am. Oh, this one might be one here. It is a CD74HC 4066E. Okay, so I think that's one. Jeremy is trying to create a modern, or would like to create a modern C64 board that does not cost $500. Well, Jeremy, not to necessarily fire shots at any particular group that has made C64 boards that are kind of on the pricey side. I think if you skip putting tube amplifiers on the board, then I think that will knock a little bit off the price. Yes, I believe that board is available without the tube amplifiers as well, but here we go. CD74HC4066E. All right, I think I found a second one. Yeah, the thing is though, I'm not as nostalgic for modern recreations of some computers. But I also realized that some of these old computers do suffer faults that make them difficult, if not impossible, to repair. And there even will be a day someday when they will be expensive enough that most people will probably have to go for a recreation. Jeremy says it's still too expensive even without the audio upgrade. Yeah. Hey, one bit says, I hope you've not been placated yet. No, I haven't, and I do believe I have some 4066s. I'm going to have to check and make sure they're compatible because they are CD74HC 4066Es, and I just realized the originals are CD 4066Es. Could be that point where Joe would probably possibly know. All right, let me do a quick Google search here. Okay, so the CD74 is an analog switch. CMOS quad bilateral switch. All right, let me compare data sheets here real quick. Okay. Actually, I think they are. Jeremy says, I will have to admit the Kawari upgrade in my version, I think. Well, don't know. I don't. Sorry, I'm not into the C64 scene to immediately recognize what the Kawari is. Oh, Foxhound's asking, how am I doing today? I am maybe a little tired because I was up late last night working on a speech for Toastmasters today. I think my speech went well. I kind of wish I'd had a little more time to work on it, but I did get some good feedback, including a couple people mentioning that they really enjoyed the topic. It was a speech I did that was not exactly one of the areas I am comfortable in, because for anyone that's not in the know, today is West Virginia Statehood Day. West Virginia was founded June 20th, 1863, the day that West Virginia became the 35th state in the Union. And knowing that I purposely volunteered to be one of the speakers today because I did a speech on West Virginia statehood. So that is not an area of speech I normally give speeches on. So, but I did get some people, they very much enjoyed my speech because they were history buffs and I didn't know it. So overall, I think the speech went well. So this was the project I was doing was a evaluation and feedback. So I get the chance to do a second speech. So I'll probably do some refinements of that speech and give it again. And I think also I have to say I think I learned a few things about the state of West Virginia that I didn't realize. So I'll but I think for the second speech, I think I'll take a slightly different angle so that I can throw a few different facts in to maybe balance it as opposed to what I did today. But anyways, yeah. Oh, thanks. Foxhound says, good luck. You will get it. Yes. Anyways, but I did get the speech. I gave it. I didn't chicken out at the last minute, but it was up a little later and then left work earlier than usual, which also always throws my morning off because I left work later than I wanted to yesterday. I had an Amazon return, so I left for work earlier than I normally do. So I would have time to drive completely past work, go down to the UPS store, drop off my Amazon return, and then drive back to work and get there. So, oh, all right, Foxhound, we'll talk to you later. So, oh, Jeremy gave me a link to what the quarry is. Oh, okay, it's the VIC 2 replacement. Yeah, I wish we could. It's those FPGAs. The pricing on them is so wacky these days. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe someday we'll find a better cost FPGA to make a VIC 20 replacement out of. Yeah, actually, I think the Quarry is one I'd looked at, but unless I have a dead VIC 2 chip, I probably won't get one as anytime soon. But yeah, they are nice. I may instead, though, since I've got a second breadboard, I'm thinking of getting one of the Retro Channel's composite mods and like pulling the RF modulator off of one of these boards and replacing it with the composite mod. But anyways, all right, I've got two 4066s. So, because those can also cause the problem I'm seeing, and because they're slightly easier to remove, I'm going to go ahead and try them first. Frank S. says I have a dead VIC 2 but can't afford a Quarry. Yeah, I am. Do have a similar fear with the VIC chip because I never got a video signal. I'm hoping it doesn't have a dead VIC chip because I don't know if there are any replacements at all for the VIC chip because I think the C64 gets all the love. And yet, the VIC 20 was the wonder computer of the 80s. Plays great games under $300. I mean, why doesn't it get the love? Oh. Jeremy says, unfortunately, the best way to get a replacement VIC is to buy another C64. Yeah, unfortunately. All right, so let me mark the two. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put a mark on the underside of this board where all the chips that could be the problem are, just for my reference. So we have the two 4066s. We have the color RAM, which is right here. It has been reflowed. Well, it's had a socket put in. That is not original Commodore work. And then we have the PLA. That will wipe off with marker or with isopropyl alcohol. So I'm not too worried about the blue marks. But that will keep me from accidentally doing anything to this chip, which is the SID, because I do not want to remove it unless it's defective and will not let the computer run with it installed. David Starbuck says the Coleco Atom was the wonder computer of the 1980s. Fight me. No, David, I don't need to. I'm just repeating what William Shatner said in the advertisement for the VIC 20, which I forgot to download and queue up. So you didn't get the wonder computer of the 80s spiel. Yep, asked, do you have roots in West Virginia? Yes, I do. However, I am not aware of any relation to the Morgans that would have named Morgantown or Morgan County. So, but yes, I do have roots in West Virginia. So there may have been another reason why I chose to do a speech on West Virginia Day. And fun fact, now I couldn't tell you which CD I won because I've got too many CDs and I don't remember which one it was. But I did win a CD from the morning radio show because I knew the significance of June 20th, 1863. But when you go to a college in West Virginia, and walk by the West Virginia state flag multiple times a day, then, well, it's kind of hard not to notice the fact that there is the date emblazoned on the flag on the tree stump between the two mountaineers. Kind of one of those things that walk past the flag enough times to know, and then you hear the date, and it just like I didn't even have to go look it up on the internet. Which is probably how I managed to win because if I'd had to double check the date on the internet, I would have not been caller number one. Because yeah, it was one of those. It wasn't one of those seventh person to call with the answer. No, it was a first person with the right answer. So that was one of those. I didn't have the luxury of being able to look up the date. Because normally you could probably give me a date, and I'm like, I don't know what happened on that day. And I guess for anyone not in the United States, it's not always a given that there's a date on state flags. I mean, there are many state flags that do not have a date on them. So I think there are some state flags they have the year, but not the whole date. I would have to go look at how many state flags actually have the statehood date on them, but it's probably not a lot. But West Virginia happens to be one that has the date of statehood on the state flag. I can picture one in my mind that has the year on it, but I could not tell you which state it is because it's like. All right. So yeah, that was the time when West Virginia Statehood Day won me a CD was because I was the first caller that correctly identified what the significance of the date was. And actually, if you're wondering, well, wait a minute, I thought the flags normally are on flagpoles and kind of high up in the air. Well, actually, uh, the college I went to had where the cafeteria was. And no, the college I went to was small enough. There was one cafeteria. I mean, there were a few restaurants downstairs, but there was one main cafeteria. But if you were going to any classes from the cafeteria, well, one way to get out of the building was to walk to the end of the hall where the stateroom was. And if you probably are imagining what the room was, well, it was a very nicely apportioned room where I guess if you were, the college had VIPs, well, or like important meeting, it could be held in the stateroom, and it was a very nicely apportioned room. And one of the features was the state flag and the American flag were always sitting on flagpoles on either side of the doors going into the room. So I literally walked past the West Virginia state flag hundreds, if not thousands of times, just because there was one outside the stateroom. So, yeah. So not only did I walk past the flag, it was at eye level. So it was like, because, yeah, you're probably thinking, well, if it was at the top of the flagpole, sure, I could, yeah, it wouldn't have been as easy of a remember, but no, it was at eye level right outside the stateroom. But it was all, but like many of the rooms at the college, though, if there wasn't like, if the college hadn't booked the room for events, it was also available for student groups to use. In fact, I believe, at least at one point, there was a Toastmasters club at the college, and I believe it met in the stateroom. So, yes, I'd even been in the room. It was, I mean, a decently apportioned room. I mean, and by decently apportioned, I mean it. I mean wood grain panels on the walls and slightly higher level of decor, and I think the room even had some slightly nicer chairs in it. I mean, not like it was the $1 million. Yes. Anyways, I think I've got this one. And you're probably thinking, why in the world am I being careful to try to remove this? Well, just in case the chips that I think are replacements for these aren't, I figured I would at least remove these carefully enough that I might be able to put them back in the sockets that I will replace them with. All right, let's see if by chance I give a little gentle pressure, gentle, yes, desoldering could be an art form too. Especially because I'm trying to just apply some gentle upward pressure because there's probably a little bit of oh, trying to see if I can find my chip lifter to very gently apply a very little bit of upward force. A little more than the spudger can supply, but I can't find it. So let me see. I think I may also go plug in the hot air station. I usually unplug it because I don't trust it 100%. need to get a few more smart outlets. Because for things like this, I would like to put it on a smart outlet. Because what I do with my smart outlets that are in the basement with the hot work items plugged into them is I set a timer to turn them off at like 2 a.m. So that if I would forget to turn it off before I go upstairs after streaming, it will turn off at 2 a.m. And I picked 2 a.m. because I have sometimes gone to like 1 a.m. But yeah, I'm usually done by 2. So that way it won't turn off while I'm normally streaming, but it would give an upward limit as to how long things could stay on if I, for example, kept them switched on. But I don't have enough. Oh, there's my chip lifter. I do spend just a little bit more on my smart outlets than 99 cents each. I get the ones that are compatible with HomeKit. Just so that I can like program an automation. All right, so I got the first one out. So I will get a socket for that here momentarily. Thought I would at least see if the XG Pro can it do 4066s. I'm not sure it. Oh, actually, maybe it can. Oh, it can. It can do a 4066. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, that one actually tests good. Although, if it was marginal, heating it up might have made it good. The replacement I have tests good as well. Test the other replacement here. Although the thing is, my hunch is that it's the PLA, so I mean, I probably shouldn't be surprised that the chip I just removed works because I'm pretty sure it's the PLA. Which I'm glad we're talking about Commodore stuff because otherwise we might have to print with a different plastic, and that would come with its own set of problems. Oh, hi! The toiletist is in the house. Hello, toilet person. We got the 4066 off the board that I don't think's the problem, but it is a whole lot easier to remove a 4066 than it is the PLA. So there we go. First chip down. Now, let me see if I can remember what I did with the socket. Let's see, the 4066 is a 2, 4, let's see, 2, 4, oh, it's a 14 pin socket. All right. I've got 14 pin sockets. Yes, I don't remember when it was, but I did finally place the jam coat order. That was probably a month or two ago. So I think I now have about, I mean, I don't have all the socket types, but I certainly have enough that I have all the most common socket sizes. So, yes, I even got like 6 and 8 pin sockets. So, 14 pin socket, definitely no issues there. I think I even ordered I think they're all low profile, so I don't even have to worry about how that's going to fit under the keyboard. But there we go. A socket for a 4066. So what I will do is I will get this soldered in, and then we'll hook the board up and we'll see if disco mode is gone with the new 4066. Double check the socket looks good. Oh, I am. Well, I should probably just stop trying to bend those capacitors over because I'm going to keep squashing them. All right. All right. There we go. Good night, Frank. All right. We have one beautiful socket. In fact, before the stream, I was talking with my neighbor. He'd asked me a Windows question. Sent me a message with a Windows question this morning, and I happened to see her outside, so I thought I'd apologize for not getting back to her because I wanted to make sure I gave her the correct website URL. But we got to talking because she's seen my Facebook posts for my live streams, and we got to talking about video game consoles, and it was like, told me that her favorite one is probably the PlayStation 2, and so when I was saying a beautiful socket, for some reason the game Beautiful Joe popped in my mind. So there. I have to check that game out sometime. Wait, come on, Chip. I know you want to go in that socket. All right. please. The chip is being persnickety. Oh, there we go. I think it was just the... I think there was a pin on it that was not quite bent into shape correctly. And there we go. Why want to go into the case C64 board? There we go. Shield was out of alignment. There we go. That's better. All right. Just thought I would put that down in its tray. Oh, Jeremy says they were being sold at a Habitat for Humanity restore. Okay. Yeah, that would explain the 99-cent price. I was about to say, wow, that would be a incredible bargain at a regular store. But yes, I could see a restore getting a boatload of them and then passing the savings along to you, as the saying goes. All right, now I get the fun and joy of finding the Commodore power supply that is around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay. David says, you not... Oh, I'm not helping him keep his promise not to spend money on a C64 setup. Thanks. Well, you're welcome, David. Always glad to help spread the Commodore love. Oh, bummer. Let's see here. And I realized I can't do the... I just realized about that I couldn't do the following.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. In a world of fun and fantasy, and ever-changing views, and computer terminology, Commodore is news. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
There we go. Gut Bomb says, how dare you? This is, well, I'm certainly not giving any, I'm certainly not giving, Dave any good reasons to let me be a mod on his channel. In fact, I think on tonight's stream, I've already provided one extra. Maybe I should think twice about making that Justin guy a mod, because he'll click the Commodore button. And no, it's actually because I let people decide if and when they want to make me a mod. I don't ask. Now play. I don't have the other version downloaded, Jack. I'll make a note to try to get the other version. What I'd really like to do is maybe find a way if I could get OBS to randomize it. That'd be cool. Dave says, Dave's laughing. All right. Okay. Well, let's, I'll power the Commodore. Oh, the Commodore's already powered up. We'll go to the capture input. And, oh, no, the Commodore is not powered up.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore?
Whoops. Sorry about that. I forgot to turn off the video source. I also need to find a way to set it up so that... Akune just subscribed. All right. No, I had the right button. I need to find a way to set it up such that I can have it trigger it on a scene transition once, and then it auto disables unless I trigger it again on a scene transition. Yeah. Eric says, I am not sorry, we can tell. Yeah, probably busted there. Jesse says, bird, bird, bird is the word Commodore edition. David Starbucks says, I'm not sorry, I have it playing in a loop when I can't sleep. All right. Well, I have one fuse. If I blow this fuse, then, well, there's no more Commodore for tonight. But I'm pretty sure that I probably won't blow the fuse just by replacing a 4066. Famous last words, 3, 2, 1. All right, we got the white line on the left side of the screen. And disco mode. Woo! I don't think that 466 fixed disco mode. Disco mode. Whoa, okay, that's real disco mode there. Look at that go. Jack says, oh, that's unfortunate. David Starbucks says, nacho, man. Yeah. Jack says it's getting faster. Gut Bomb says, I've never seen this bug. Well, it's about to get worse. I think it freezes after... Yeah. Color RAM, bad. Yeah, tell me about it. Okay. I don't think it was that 4066. But there's two of them. So, and I might have removed the wrong one. But anyways, okay. It wasn't that one. Yeah, womp womp. Okay, well, let's get the other 4066 because it's fairly easy to remove. Jeremy says, could you imagine the keeping up video with a sudden Macintosh being spoken in a deep voiceover Commodore? Are you keeping up with the Macintosh? Because the Macintosh is keeping up with you. I could imagine us inserting Macintosh in the Macintalk default voice over top of Commodore in the song. Sort of. Dave says, don't worry, Justin, you won't lose your mod status. I think Dave knows that that if I were to play the Commodore song video, it would be because I had a good reason. That good reason might be because I was about to have a Commodore suddenly appear on my workbench. All right, so let's get this other 4066 off of here. Hopefully it'll come off the board fairly easily. For some reason, this one came out fairly easily. This one feels a little bit more oxidized. So let me add just a little bit of. All right, so Foxhound is asking what type of soldering station do I use? At the right now I am using a Weller. I don't remember what the model number is. I got it at Lowe's. It's a temporary station until I manage to get some parts ordered from Hacko. I normally use an FX888D, but I know Hacko released a new station to replace the FX888D, and well, I've kind of been tempted to upgrade to the new station. But at this point, I'm kind of waiting for them to run their customer appreciation sale in early August. Because I mean, this Weller's okay, but the handle is permanently wired to the base station, which I guess is, well, I mean, I don't like that, but the real part I really don't like is where it's wired into the base station. It's on the side of it and not the front. And that's kind of the part that's really annoying me. But yeah, I know Jeremy Hacko might be overrated, but this Weller is a low end station, and it has a comparatively shorter cord than other stations, and it's permanently wired into the side of it, which kind of eats some of the length of it. I mean, on the bright side, it comes with a 7-year warranty, but then again, this thing is so simple. I'm fairly sure that it would probably last at least 7 years without having any troubles, because the thing is like a dead simple soldering station. it's a handle wired into the base. It heats up. I mean, maybe the heater and the handle would probably be the part I'd be most worried about wearing out. So I guess at least that's one thing about it that is nice. It's got a fairly long warranty. Of course, that's the other thing that if when the customer appreciation sale from Hacko comes around again, I may get the pieces I need to actually be able to use my FX951 station because then it's got the hot swappable T15 tips. What's missing for my FX951? I I did something silly when I bought it. I bought the FX951 base station from Hacko during their customer appreciation sale, but I thought that I could get the handset kit from Amazon at a good price, and well, I just got the handset, which turned out to be a counterfeit that didn't work correctly. And actually, what I didn't realize is that the 951 has the cool base for the soldering iron that's got the switch in it. So I should have just bought the whole set from Hacko to begin with and be done with it. So I would have the base that has the switch in it. So when you return the iron to the base, it'll put it into sleep mode. Which actually I will have to admit, this Weller is better than that Hacko in that respect because it's it came from Lowe's and it doesn't have a switch in it, and it somehow knows that I'm not using it and puts itself to sleep. So, well, I like that about this Weller. Yeah, Gupbomb says I can hot swap the tips, but I never do. I have hot swap tips on Hacko stations before, but it's not something I would expect to do very often. But it is somewhat handy in case you start working with a tip and realize you've got the wrong one on the iron. Of course, the problem is a lot of times you know what you need before you heat the iron up, and a lot of times I just use one tip. So, but I have hot swapped them before on Hacko stations that aren't mine after heating the thing up and starting to use it and realizing that I chose poorly. And it is nice in that case to be able to hot swap. Yeah, I have, well, somewhere I think I have the KSGER station the handle on mine failed after like right after the return period ended. And I gave up trying to figure out what the correct replacement handle was for it. Yeah, the handle's the weak point. That's for sure. Oh, hi, Rudy. Welcome. There we go. And I just flipped over the tantalum capacitors from that Apple II Plus clone board that I was trying to keep in a nice little box so that I could do something when I had a chance to make a video on it. Well, they are now scattered all over an inconvenient part of my workbench. Oh well. I tried. Okay. Well, that 4066 is out, although it does look like there's a little bit of solder left there. Okay, there we go. Oh, Rudy says, oh, what is the, oh, what's the LED on the board for? Oops, now I've got my glasses on. It's a shiny cap. Okay. Yeah, I was about going to have to ask you to clarify because, yeah, there are no superfluous LEDs on this board. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were looking at a cap. Just double check that. Yep, that socket looks nice and flush. All right, there we go. CPU. Okay, Rudy. The symptoms are disco mode in dead test. No, the PLA has not been checked because it is soldered. The pictorial C64 guide said that the problem could be color RAM, the 4066, which I probably should have looked at which one because there's two. I don't think it's the VIC chip. But yeah, I guess the VIC chip could be it. But for the symptoms I'm seeing, it said it's probably PLA 4066 or color RAM. And it's not the color. Oh! Look at that! That's the chip I just pulled off. The 4066 I just pulled off the board. I got a bad 4066. Okay, I was not expecting that. But let's go ahead and put this spare tested one in. In fact, actually, maybe for a little bit of fun, let's put the original one in that tested fine, and we'll put it in place of where it was. Let me straighten its legs out. And let me put this replacement, which you can't see because I probably should go back to table cam. All right, so I'm going to take this replacement, which I had in place the first one I removed, which tested fine in the chip tester, and we still had the problem. I'll move it over to this 4066, which just tested bad on the chip tester. Why am I having so much trouble with these sockets? There we go. All right, and then I'm going to put the original chip back here. Okay. Jack's saying the 4066 seems like it would be an odd cause of disco mode. Well, now, the pictorial troubleshooting guide didn't say disco mode. That's my term. But I think it did. I mean, it mentioned that it was a possibility. And quite honestly, I actually almost convinced myself that I was going to go straight for clipping the legs on the PLA and removing it and building a replacement. But I started streaming and then I got cold feet on that idea. I'm like, no, maybe I'd better check the lower pin count chips first. I mean, I'm not totally expecting this will have fixed all the problems, but all right, 3, 2, 1. All right, there's our white stripe. Well, that's lovely. Rudy says bad chips from the 70s goes into disco mode. Well, I mean, that 4066 could have been causing another problem. And maybe I should, like, put this other replacement chip in too, just in case. I mean, I'll hold it to the side for now. And we still have a bad color ROM. Oh, well, Rudy, that's the same thing the tests have. Oh, wait a minute. It's now telling me we have 3 bad RAM chips, which I don't exactly believe. Although they are MOSTech RAMs. Yeah, Gutbomb says it's the PLA. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the PLA. Okay. Okay, so, I mean, the 4066 did test bad on 2 of its channels. And Gutbomb says it's always the PLA. Yeah. I think I got played by the PLA. All right. Oh, no, no, David. It's not MT RAM. It is not MT RAM. It is MOSTech RAM, which is equally as awful. Yeah, Rudy says the PLA is a major problem in most repairs. All right. Just in case the PLA happens to not be the problem, I don't feel like the channel having the channel engagement from clipping legs on the PLA. And besides, the solder braid seems to be doing a decent job on this board. Solder braid in hot air. So I'm going to start by trying to remove the PLA non-destructively. However, if it starts to give me problems such that I think I'm going to start destroying the board, I will totally switch to clipping component legs and removing the PLA. Also, I will probably go to my other C64 and pull the PLA replacement out of it, or at least the initial test. And if it is the PLA, then we'll build a replacement at that time. And if it's not the PLA, then, well, more diagnostics will be needed. All right. Yes, this board will live again. Now, when I get to trying to solve the user port problem, that might make me a little bit sad because I'm pretty sure the 6522 replacements are like $50 a piece for the modern recreation, or I'll have to go to buying a 6522. Well, let's first get to the point where I can where Deadtest will actually run long enough to get to the accessory testing. not there's something on this board that is bothering me here. I got some. No, it's just okay. I don't think there's a problem with that trace. It's just the way the board's made. Okay, moving along. But I'll pull the microscope out to check those two traces just to make sure. I think it's just the bubbly solder mask. But yes, even if you just have a soldering iron and soldering braid, you can get chips off, as I am showing tonight. I've got a desoldering station, but I'm waiting for a new handle for it. Because luckily I figured out Marlon P. Jones had handles for it. Yeah, it is. I, I don't know if it's just in fact it's just a 2-layer board, or if I got my soldering iron temp dialed in, or what. But yeah, the solder's coming out of these vias like really easily. In fact, I think most of them are pretty much cleared. A few that I got a few that I want to take another pass by. And then I'll check the top side because some of them I'll probably have to. Let me just go to the other side. Oh, hey, Jamie's Hack Shack. Oh, I forgot to earlier in the stream. I forgot to show off my new sticker from Jamie's Hack Shack. So thank you, Jamie. I did get your sticker. Yeah, very cool sticker design. It'll as soon as I get putting stickers on my toolbox, it will go on the toolbox along with the rest of them. I guess it's one of those I keep trying to decide if I want to try to get a slightly larger toolbox or not. On the one hand, I could probably arrange things a little more efficiently in the one I have to try to keep from loading it with too much junk, because I realize that inevitably I will put a lot of junk in a bigger toolbox. But on the other hand, I do have some tools that float around my workbench because I really don't have room in my toolbox for them because they're too big to fit in the current one I have. I've been looking at one that has maybe like a larger size drawer. So, I mean, I'm not looking at anything fancy. Quite honestly, I'd probably just get one of the better ones from Harbor Freight and be done with it because, I mean, for as for the duty usage that I would give it, I'm sure the Harbor Freight one will be totally serviceable. Trying to figure out how Justin is not burning his fingers holding that solder wick. I will tell you this: I am definitely feeling the heat from it. Because I'll tell you, these gloves give +0 thermal protection. In fact, they might even give like -5 thermal protection because it's that false sense of security. Because believe me, when it gets warm enough, you still feel it through these gloves. Although, fun fact, due to the way human hands work, if you're doing body work or something like that where you're using body filler and you want to feel for imperfections, you put on a pair of gloves like this and you'll actually feel minor imperfections better than with your bare hand. So, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you the science behind that, but yeah. I mean, I've tried it before when I've been trying to like smooth something, and yeah, it actually does work. But yeah, these gloves give like no thermal protection, so yeah, totally could still burn my hand. All right, still have a little bit of solder. One, one more, kind of clear. Uh, oh, hi Jamie, welcome. Uh, Rudy says the stream brought to you by people with the letter J in their name. Ah, Okay, I think that looks good. And I have a feeling I missed some chat here. Oh, good night, Rudy. All right. Let's see if I can't now use a little bit of hot air to loosen any remaining solder and get this PLA off the board. Then we'll get a 28 pin socket in its place. And then I'll go grab the PLA replacement I've got in my other bread bin. Just so we can test if it's the PLA before I bother to build another one. Jack says it's an odd bit of silkscreen labeled C203. Yeah, it is. Almost like, I know all the other components are like perpendicular and parallel to each other, and that capacitor is like cattywampus. They put that PLA like really close to the board. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Am I going to be able to get anything between the board and that PLA? Okay, there we go. Need more heat. Not on the SID. I couldn't tell you why there's a. I couldn't tell you why those two components are sharing the same vias. It looks like it's a. Oh yeah, David says Commodore was a make it work company. Yeah. There we go. We got another clean chip removal. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, there is still a little bit of solder in. Do I have a counterfeit PLA waiting for it? Uh, no, I've got one of those modern PLA replacements. It's the one that uses gal two gal chips. So it's the one that'll work with even Super Zaxxon because it's like functionally equivalent to the PLA. Because as far as I can tell, the PLA it was basically like internally two of those gals. So yay, it just works. All right. Now I just need to find the 28 pin sockets, which I know I have somewhere. Yep, there they are. Oh, wait a minute. I don't need to open those. Because I think these are them too. There we go. I think those are 28 pin sockets. Yeah, as Jack's saying, it's interesting how the timing requirements are so. Oh, nope, those are not the sockets I thought they were. Okay. Oh, I bet I know what those sockets are for now that I. Okay, I think the sockets that I thought went with the PLA replacement because they were sitting beside the gals, I think are actually the sockets I need for real-time clock replacement modules. Because, yeah, that's definitely the actual correct socket for a PLA chip. Yeah, I think the PLA strict timing comes down to everything the PLA chip does when it's arbitrating bus read write cycles. All right, the really nice thing about having hot air remove the board is this board is actually still just warm enough that I probably won't have any trouble with the pins on ground planes. I think the board is just warm enough. All right, that socket actually looks good enough. Because you got to remember on 6502 based systems, uh, there is the phase 0 and phase 1, or phase 1 and phase 2 clocks. So I think some some bus cycles are going to be happening on the one phase and some are going to be happening on the other. So I think the PLA timing has to be such that it can arbitrate bus requests and probably be able to make sure that they happen on the correct phase of the 6510 clock. At least I'm pretty sure the 6510 also has those two clocks. I mean, it could be wrong, but There we go. Or Jack says, or maybe it's the quirks they have a hard time replicating. Yeah, that could be it. Maybe it's not necessarily the bus cycles, it's the quirks. But yeah, the PLA replacement I used was designed from the actual equations in the PLA. So as long as you use the correct a chip with the correct timing, then it even works with Super Zaxxon, which is like one of the most notorious for having like cycle time requirements. All right, so let me go grab the PLA replacement from my other bread bin. If it works, then we'll build one. So here it is. It's a MOS 906114-01 equivalent. And it just kind of should go in the socket. It should go in the socket. Oh, it is in the socket. All right. Place your bets in the chat. I'm feeling pretty optimistic because it's always the PLA. 3, 2, 1. And we got the white line. And it was the PLA. It's always the PLA. Ha. And hopefully I'm not going to be found a fool by like one of the RAMs failing, so that my statement of, and that is why you should probably suspect the PLA when you have multiple RAM chips failing and other problems, because that is how much the PLA does. And this is already looking a lot better because that color RAM test was like failing almost right off the bat. Yeah, we're working way better. So I'm going to get my diagnostic harnesses at the ready. See, it wasn't even getting that far. In fact, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if the RAM's working, because it actually is run pretty far. Well, okay. Any day now. Oh, there we go. Okay, I don't have audio. Oh, okay. That's all Deadtest does. Okay, so. Woot! Okay, I am partially curious what this other 4066 would do, but it did test half bad, so maybe we'll first run diagnostics. So I'm going to plug in the diagnostics harnesses. I'm also going to see if I can't maybe find some way of plugging speakers in. But anyways, so let's give these diagnostic harnesses I just received today a try. All right, so we got the user port top side. That is the user port, isn't it? Oh. Yep, there we go. User port top side. Cassette port top. I like how these are very clearly labeled top. And then we got the keyboard do not connect reverse. And yeah, pin 1. Okay, I certainly wish there was a key installed on that header. I think I might have some keys for those headers, so I may have to install a key on my own. All right, I got to find a pair of speakers for the SID. But anyways, let's give the diagnostic harness a test. Now, I have been told the user port has a fault. So I will not be shocked if the user port fails. Of course, then again, it could have been the PLA. So bad PLAs can have. Oh, I think I forgot to plug one of the harness. Oh, I did forget to plug one of the harnesses in. Jeremy says I can key it with a toothpick. Okay. Let's not worry about that for the moment because I did forget to plug one of the harnesses in. Which I'll turn it off. And I think that might be the serial port. All right, so let's try that again. Yeah, that could have been the serial port harness. All right, I am not going to kick myself for replacing the 4066s, or at least the one that was bad. So I may have removed the wrong one at first, but okay, they're in sockets, no big deal. No harm, no foul. At least I non-destructively removed them. All right, that looks good. Now we just need a speaker so we can try the SID. Oh, we got to test the SID, Gut Bomb. Let me go. Let me. Thing is, I've got speakers down here. The problem is the audio connectors for all involved modules. So if you will hold on just a second, let me see if I can't detangle. I see I've got an audio cable on my bench. Let me see if by chance it does what I think it might do, but it's tangled up. So we'll let this repeat a couple times while I find the audio cable. Let's see here. Nope, that's not what it does. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I have an adapter or something. That'll do RCA to 3.5 inch. So I can just use the speakers I already have down here. Alright, I'm still looking for something. This is where I wish I could find the wire harnesses I've been looking for like 2 weeks. Okay. Failing that, I do have one other thing I can attempt, but it's even more tangled up than. Oh, never mind. I have a USB audio adapter that I could plug the C64 into, but the only problem with that is I won't be able to hear the sound. Okay. Okay. So I need to add audio input capture. All right. And the device is USB audio codec. And I'm glad you all heard it because I didn't. How did it sound? It was very loud. The audience is now deaf. maybe the audio. Maybe the audio is a bit loud. Like like for example, is it as loud as this?
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. In a world of fun and fantasy and ever-changing views and computer terminology, Commodore is news. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
Okay, so it was. Okay, well, hopefully you all could hear it over the ad. Okay, that would be loud. Are you keeping up with the PLA? Because the PLA is keeping up with you. Um, okay, so I have one probably excellently working C64 now. I think there is only one thing to do at this point. And that is hook the keyboard up and let it boot into DOS or BASIC. Okay, I am certainly happy that I don't have to go messing around with the chips there. That is definitely a very good thing that I do not have to dork with those. Um, I should have said DOS. Where we're going, we don't need DOS. Okay, where we're going, we will eventually need some thermal paste on the VIC-2 chip. Uh, yes, Jeremy giving a good reference to war games. Do you want to play a game? Okay, we are not going to run Windows Me on a Commodore 64. You can do that all you want. You will probably have to write a extended memory driver for the Commodore 64. I'm sure if you manage to write the appropriate extended memory driver for the C64 for Windows ME, the porting all the drivers to 6502 assembly will be a piece of cake. All right, now it is time for super channel. Engagement. So I am using a brand redacted brand of thermal paste. I am going to apply a amount redacted amount, and we're just going to jam this heatsink cover back on because no matter what I do, I'm sure that's probably too little or too much or not enough or should be liquid metal or why am I not using thermal take and or mayonnaise or Hellman's or Dukes or Colgate or quite honestly, if all you do is complain about people, the amount of thermal paste that people apply, then before you type the next comment letting someone know they've applied too little or too much or the wrong brand, maybe you will create a YouTube video of you applying it. And that's exactly the response I thought I would get from that. No, we're fine. Also, as some people say, channel engagement is channel engagement. All right. The hole in the top of the C64 was already there. I do not know why it was there. Maybe this had a Jiffy DOS in it at some point. I don't know. Woohoo! All right. That is a good screen there. Whoops. Let me guess. That did not like. Okay, I think the up down arrow key is. Oh, I see the error. Okay, the up down key is somewhat sticky. My Commodore's not keeping up with the Justin. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, is it home? No, it's not home. It's not ohm. Okay, I think there's a couple keys on this keyboard that are not working right. No, it's not new. I'm looking for I want to clear the screen. I'm having some keyboard trouble. It is not CLS. It's yeah, the keyboard's having issues, which is compounding the fact that I do not remember what the Oh, wait a minute. There we go. It's the clear home key at the top right of the keyboard. Here, I was trying to type the command. Yes, this keyboard is having problems. 10 print. D. Print. Yeah, this keyboard needs D. Oh, there's one problem. The H key is not working. Eric says I would have got away with it if it weren't for the darn keyboard. Yeah, this keyboard is having some issues. So the enter key works. So let's see here. So F does, oh, F, okay, F does work. Oh, there we go. H is, yeah, I bet it, now, K is sticky. So H is very hard. F is sticky. B is not working. So it's like B, H, and F are having troubles. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to need to open the keyboard up and give it a clean. Well, I guess there's no time like the present to at least start the process of taking out 20 million screws. Well, at least there's a lot of videos on YouTube on how to take care of these keyboards. All right, let me at least put this one screw that I have. Unfortunately, this computer was taken apart a long time ago. And I have like one screw for it. And actually, I'm not even sure this is a screw that holds the... Actually, this may not even be a screw that holds the PCB in. No, I have a feeling that's a screw for something else. All right, well, I will try to put it somewhere where I won't completely lose it, but I'll probably lose it. I'm going to have to get screws to put the case back together because I don't have them. Jeremy says the carbon contact on the stem can be resurfaced with a plain sheet of printer paper. Well, I thought I would just take it apart and try isopropyl alcohol to clean it. On the PCB side. That screw may not even go to the Commodore. Of course, I'm now looking at this keyboard. There's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 23. That's 11:30. Jeremy's saying desolder the shift lock. And I'm looking at the time. It's 11:30. We don't have time to do anything with this keyboard. Okay, I'm putting the keyboard back together. Because I just realized by the time I get this keyboard apart to do anything with it, it's going to be midnight. So we are going to save the keyboard for the C64 for another stream. One where I have more than 30 minutes to take it apart. So therefore, we have time to get back to Wheel of Regrets. Because that we can finish in the allotted time remaining. Jeremy's asking, does he need to clone the C64 keyboard? Well, I don't know, Jeremy, if it's time to declare failure on the C64 keyboard for mine just yet. But I mean, it's eventually going to come to the point where people are not going to be able to repair their C64 keyboards. And there's certainly enough C64s out there that if someone hasn't already cloned the keyboard, that might be a winning idea, Jeremy. After all, I think if you look at the not counting like PCs and IBM compatibles, I think if you look at sales numbers for computers, the C64 is like up there in history. All right, so we have two boxes, one of which looks very nondescript, and one looks like it's a reused priority mailbox. Hey, good night, David. Ah, yeah, Jeremy's saying 17 million plus. Yeah, we're going to go for the more regrettable of the two because I don't know which of these is which. Oh, wait, actually, I think it just dawned on me which is which now. I think one of these is regretful on the outside and potentially the inside too, and the other is regretful on the inside. So we'll go first for this reused priority mailbox, which, quite honestly, it seems like they might have gone through a lot of effort for. Oh no, actually, that's not a reused box. It's just shortened. Oh, and guess what? I feel like I have nested priority mail packaging. No wonder priority mail costs that much these days. They got to pay for the not one but two padded flat rate envelopes used to package my item. And inside we have probably one of my more questionable purchases for sure. Especially because we all know how anti-static priority mail packaging is. But we have a Micromax ViewMax 80 card. For the Apple II. And it even has the input and output cables attached. But yes, I hope it works. But yes, this is an 80 column card for. Actually, if everything works out, this is an 80 column card for computer. Because I thought it'd be really cool to put the CPM card back in computer, but that would first require an 80 column card, and it looks like someone's removed the capacitor potentially. Yeah, I think there might have been a capacitor there at some point. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Anyways, there we go. 80 column card. And now, I wish I had the ability to do sleight of hand. But I'm pretty sure Gut Bomb will realize that maybe I don't have something tonight that says Mad Dog Multimedia on it. But oh wow. Okay. I don't remember this item looking that nice in the auction description. I don't remember. I don't remember seeing the box in the auction photos. Oh, okay. Jack doesn't see a photo of Cap in any of them. All right. I think I had one of these at some point, although I certainly remember selling enough of them at the computer store that I could have distorted memories. Oh, it's probably still a regret, Jack, but for different reasons. Video 87 AGP 3D and TV multimedia accelerator with TV out. AGP special edition game inside. Sega. Flicker free display on TV. Exciting 3D graphics. Fastest 2D performance. True video acceleration. High speed SG RAM from Jayton. Jack68K says asterisk accelerator sold separately. Gutbomb says there's still regret potential. Yeah, because that's all the claims on the front of the box. You have to get to the back of the box to find the Total Solutions features Trident 3D Image. Note the accent, like Target. It's Image. 975 chipset. Capcom says Steve archived something a couple weeks ago related to this card. Dave says DVD's in the box. All right. Oh, it's HEP1X compliant. So there you go. It's got specifications. Put eye-popping graphics on TV. See, notice. Camcorder or TV tuner optional into computer. And then we have arrows going out of computer. Yeah. Not to be confused with computer. Also, oh, made in USA. We're going to test that. Or rather, we're going to look on the card. I didn't think these were made in USA. And then, of course, another Sega trademark disclaimer. Jack68K in the chat. 230 megahertz RAM tack if it works. Jack68K says, made in USA by Sega. Yeah. All right, so let's see what we got in the box. All right, we have the PCI bracket. Excellent. We have the card, sans the nuts. Luckily, I've got plenty of nuts. I do not see the expansion capabilities, so this may actually be the 4 megabyte version of the card, which would be nice. I think this may be 4 megabytes because I don't see an expansion. But yeah, there we go. The Trident 3D Image 9750. What's the pin header for? I think that's the standard expansion thingy. Oh, actually, it does say made in USA. I didn't remember Jayton making these in the USA, but I guess maybe this was near the end of their manufacturing. This card looks like almost brand new. I don't think this thing has ever been inserted into a slot. I think this might actually be a like new old stock card. This thing looks like mint. I mean, granted, looks like off-brand, slightly off-taste mint because it's a Trident video card, but still, it looks mint. That sticker was made in the USA. Oh, Gupom says Sega actually started as an American company making amusement machines for service members in Japan. It stands for Service Games. SERVICEGAMES. Where's the bracket separate because I think the nuts are missing. Unless the nuts are like in the box. Yeah. It looks like it's like new except someone borrowed the nuts. Because they're certainly not in the box. And there we go. There's the quick start guide. And there's the Trident Master CD. Version 1.6. And actually, this disc looks brand new. I don't see any scratches on it. Oh, hey, Sad Mac. Welcome. I think this thing's like a new old stock card. I don't think this thing's ever been used except someone stole the nuts. Or maybe there was a low profile bracket in the box at some point and maybe someone used that. I mean, the card does look... So how many Trident cards do I own now? That's a state secret. I can round to the nearest 10. 20, maybe? Somewhere between 10 and 20, probably. I've lost count. There's probably Trident cards I don't know I have in the basement. If I had to add the cards in my scrap pile, then yeah, it's probably definitely closer to 20. Gut Bomb says no one had low profile stuff in the era of 3D homage. So this says 2 MB add-on module optional. I don't see where the add-on module would go. Yeah, because the add-on module usually was pin headers like here and here. Yeah, and this definitely doesn't have the add-on. I think this may be the 4 MB version. Although it is cool, I could set it for NTSC or PAL. And if I want TV out or VGA out. Yeah, Dave says Justin lost count. Yeah. There we go. Cool. So there we go. Now, why did I buy this card other than the fact that it was a Trident card that had TV out capabilities and I have no ability to pass up potential eBay regrets? Well, I mean, I think I might have had one of these cards at one point. Granted, it wasn't in my first PC. It would have been in my second PC. And I have no idea why I would have thought the Trident card was faster than the S3 Verge. Anyways, yeah, there we go. And the thing is, I didn't realize it had the retail box because I don't remember seeing that in the auction picture. So that's like a bonus. I totally remember selling these at the computer shop because I totally remember this box and all the things they put on it to make you want to buy it. And I don't remember what Sega game was inside, honestly. That will have to wait for another stream because I don't have a drive in this computer to read the disc. That's assuming it wasn't like a separate disc and that's been removed from this. But I thought it was on the driver install. Gutbomb says, I think it's Sega Rally. Yeah, I was pretty sure it wasn't like Sonic. Oh, and it's just a demo. Yeah, it is a special edition game inside. Of course, it's just a demo. Yeah, that's par for the course. Yep. It's not like this was a high cost video card. Of course, they're not going to include the full game. You didn't pay enough for the card for them to have packed that in. Yes. Anyways. Okay, there was one other item that came in today, but it's going to wait until Tuesday because I don't feel like going upstairs and bringing it back downstairs because it's a rather large box. And besides, Mac 84 Steve's not here, so no, that's not an admission, it's an image writer, but it might be a printer. It might go burr, 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 burr. But I don't feel like dragging it downstairs. Dave says, "Show us on Sunday." Well, that is true. I may be trying to get it to work. I might be trying to get it to work this weekend just to see if it works. Jack 68K is guessing Epson FX80. No, no, it is not an Epson FX80. It might have an Epson FX80 compatibility mode, but it is not an FX80. I might also drop a hint here if I can find the picture real quick. So please hold on a moment. Let me see if I've got the picture here. Hmm. Oh, let me see here. That would have been, I think, June. June when I scanned those in. Or May. Oh, I may not have those photos on. No, I sure thought I had that photo on OneDrive. I'm having trouble finding it. Okay, maybe I won't be able to drop a hint because that would require me to remember where I put the picture. Hmm. All right. Oh, wait a minute. I think I might remember where it is. here we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. There you go. There is your tantalizing clue. That is your hint as to what I might have upstairs. Okay, tantalizing clue over. So, anyways, you all can guess away, and yeah, I might drag it down here this weekend. Because, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to join Dave's stream on Sunday, as long as it's not like super hot in the basement, because it's supposed to be a scorcher here this weekend. In fact, it is going to be so hot this weekend, I may stay inside all weekend. Because I certainly, if the weather forecast holds for Saturday morning at least, I'm not going outside. Probably at all Saturday. Yeah, because it's the heat index is potentially going to get up to like 109 here on Saturday, which I think is completely ridiculous for June in this part of the state. Actually, even for August, I think that might be a bit ridiculous. Because it's like going to be, it's supposed to be like 87 degrees at like 9 a.m. on Saturday. Yeah, I'm probably not going outside at all. That just sounds gross. Anyways, yes, Eric says, thank you for keeping me entertained tonight. You are quite welcome, Eric. Thank you all for hanging out in the chat. Thank you for being here for moral support as I tried to figure out what was wrong with the, Dave says, 100 Fahrenheit on Saturday for here. Yeah, it's supposed to get up to like 97, but the like feels like temperature could be as high as 109 in certain places. So yeah, definitely going to be hot and humid outside. So yeah, I'm probably going to stay inside. I don't often go to the movies these days, but I might even go to the movie theater on Saturday because they usually keep it quite cool inside the movie theater. I may just not go outside at all. Anyways, yeah. I'm glad we got the C64, at least I know as cool as disco mode seemed, unfortunately, with a bad PLA, disco mode would eventually turn into nothing mode because usually the PLA does nothing but degrade at that point. Unfortunately, Moss doped them with too much boron, so they eat themselves from the inside. So I am on this PLA going to write on it the word somewhere where I can actually have a shot at reading it. I am going to write disco on it. Actually, I wrote disco mode on it, so if I pull it out of my dead parts chip, maybe 6 months to a year down the road, we might be able to see if it even works, because unfortunately it'll probably degrade to the point of not working sooner rather than later. Anyways, yeah, so it'll go in my sus chip bag. I need to get a box. But anyways, so PLA fixed it, although there was a bad 4066 on the board that probably would have manifested in some fault at some point. Color RAM was fine. The other 4066 was fine. I'll have to build another PLA replacement. I got boards and parts and whatnot. Keyboard needs some work, but at least I'm glad to see the user port issue quite possibly was being caused by the PLA. So, yay. Because the user port works fine, at least as far as the diagnostics test showed, and I think I already got my money's worth out of these harnesses because I was able to conclusively see that, yeah, everything seems to be working fine. So anyways, thank you all for being here. I'd like to remind you to smash that like button if you like seeing Commodore 64s restored to working order. Even if disco mode's cool, remember disco mode, the disco music eventually has to end. Along with failing PLAs, they usually do stop working at some point. But yeah, smash that like button if you like to see C64s restored. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications if you'd like to see me suffer through removing 23 screws plus on a keyboard to get it working. Plus, I mean, we've got the second PC rebuild that I'll start at some point. I've got other computers to work on, including the G3 desktop right there. Well, I mean, we might be able to ignore the Dell for a little while longer. I mean, I got Packard Bells. I got it all. So everything's fair game. I have not decided what I'm going to work on next week. Probably, I mean, the Apple II clone board might come back after I've had a few more days to ponder what's wrong with it. Although I may bring it back for next Thursday's stream. Because I may think of something that'll be good for the longer stream. But anyways, yeah, haven't decided what I'm going to do next week, but I do plan on doing 2 streams next week. Like usual. So anyways, subscribe and turn on notifications, because if you don't turn on notifications, you definitely won't get one, and you won't want to miss all the fun hanging out in the chat, and we learn from each other. So with that, I think I am going to go ahead and call this stream to a close. I would like to wish all of you all a great rest of your day. Thanks for being here, being cool in the chat, hanging out. We all had fun. So take care, and God bless. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you've liked what you've seen, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or live stream. And as always, thank you for all your support. I hope to see you next time. And until then, take care.